Hey, what's up everybody? It's Yo from SubiSpeed. Today, we've got the WRX up in the air because we're going to be tackling some handling issues that we had at the track. When we were out at MAM about a month ago, we had the HKS coilovers on the car and we had some nice sticky Hankook RS3 tires. And Jeremy and I found that the car mid-corner and on entry had a touch too much understeer for us. Had to be really patient on the gas when coming out of those corners. So we've made an alignment change and I got better, but we still think there's some work to be done. So today we're taking some Whiteline components that we got in. We got the 2015 WRX rear sway bar with the heavy duty brace kit. And it also comes with bushings and hardware. We're also going to be installing some heavy duty end links that will help stiffen everything up on the rear of the WRX. So hopefully we'll get some of that mid-corner oversteer that everybody loves to have on the track. So let's get started on the install. So underneath the car, take a look at the suspension mounting points for the sway bar. You've got the bushing mounting point, which connects the sway bar to the chassis. And then you've also got the end link that connects the sway bar to the control arm to get that connection between both suspension points. To start removing the sway bar, you'll need 14 and 12 millimeter wrenches, 14 millimeter bolts on the end links, and then 12 millimeter bolts on the sway bar mounting point here. So go ahead and start removing those. Now you want to get this bolt removed, and then you won't get the end link out until you loosen the mounting points for the sway bar here and are ready for removal. With that end link bolt off, you can take off the mounting points here. With these mounting points off, you can go ahead and repeat this process on the other side. With the mounting points taken off on both sides, now you can go ahead and get the sway bar removed. So you want to take off the bushing mounts first. You can set those aside. Then you want to push in the end links so you can get those free. There's one. Then you can pull the other one out and you've got your sway bar. All right, now to remove the end links, got the 14 millimeter nut and bolt there. We can loosen that. Oops, go the right way. There we go. And get that off to remove the end link. Now you may run into some trouble here, like I am. Can't get that off. And that's because the control arm is a bit pinched on this end link. What you'll want to do is loosen the mounting point for the strut itself, and that will open up the control arm to get this free. So you want to get the 17 millimeter sockets and loosen this up. Now you don't have to take this out all the way, you just want to loosen it up. And as you can see, the end link falls down after you loosen it up. And now that's removed rather easily. With the OEM pieces off, we can take a look and compare them to the Whiteline sway bar and end links we're going to put on the car. Starting with the sway bar, you can see the added thickness on the Whiteline compared to the OEM bar. That added thickness will give you more rigidity and more stiffness. Also, we've got the adjustments on the end of the sway bar. The farthest being full soft, the middle medium, and the closest to the actual bar, that mounting point is going to be full hard. Comparing the bushings as well, the OEM, soft, rubbery, nice and cushy. This is going to be a hard urethane from Whiteline. Again, everything just adds to that stiffness and rigidity that you'll need when you go into the track. Taking a look at the end links. Now this is a big difference. As you can see, the thickness of the end links compared to the Whiteline bar. Again, it's always a good idea to upgrade the end links when you're adding more rigidity, because you're going to be putting a lot more force onto these OEM end links. We've actually had OEM end links snap at the track before when running a larger bar. Probably won't be the case with the upgraded Whiteline. The Whiteline also comes with these subframe braces. This will brace your control arm to the mounting point for the sway bar. Just added protection and another upgrade that Whiteline adds to the kit. So let's get this stuff put on the car. When installing the end link, what you'll want to do before you get that on the car is to adjust these, as they are adjustable. You'll want to get the height about the same as the OEM. So you can loosen that nut there and then rotate this to the height that you want it to be at. And that looks about right there. So we'll go ahead and snug up this nut, and we'll tighten that down with a wrench when we're ready, once it's installed on the car. When installing the end link, there's a couple things that Whiteline adds to you, and there are these collars go on the end of the end link there for a little added support when the control arm bolt goes through. For installation on the sway bar, again, your outermost is going to be full soft, middle is the medium setting, and the closest to the actual bar, that's going to be full hard. And you'll want one nut here, or washer, excuse me, and that'll go in there, a washer on this side, and then of course the nut on that side. So let's get this up on the car. With the bushing greased up and the collars in place, we can slide this end link in to the control arm. And it's a bit tight. Squeeze it on in there. And you should get lined up there. Make sure the end link mounting point for the sway bar is pointing inwards towards the diff. All right, we're gonna take the OEM hardware and get this back into place on the end link. And we don't need to torque this down just yet. We'll install the sway bar first, then come back to torque these bolts down. All right, to get the sway bar in place, first off, you want to get your bushings in the right position on the sway bar, and then have a bushing mount and one piece of hardware ready. You might want to have a friend help you with this, so I'm going to have Kevin, our camera guy, come in and help us out. And we'll just slide this up into position, and you'll want the sway bar mount on there and the hook in its position, and we can just go ahead and thread that one piece of hardware in. And that'll hold the sway bar in place to get everything else ready. Thanks, Kevin. All right, with that one piece of hardware and the bushing mount in place, you can go ahead and get the end link into your desired position. We're gonna go on the medium setting, so don't forget your hardware. We'll need a washer on one side. And then you can sneak that end link in. Just like that. Get the washer in on the other side. And then tighten down this nut all the way. And this is a 17mm nut here. Then on the back side, there's a 14mm nut that holds the end link in place. So you want to put the 14 on the back here and get that 17mm to tighten everything down. With that tightened up, we can get these mounting points snugged up with the wrench to make sure that the end link is in a secure position. So we'll take the 17mm wrench and get these bolts on the adjustable end link snugged up. Now we're nice and tight. We'll go ahead and repeat this process on the other side. For the next step, we're going to put the brace on, which goes from the bushing mounting point here to the control arm mounting point. So we need to get this nut off. We're going to take the nut off, but we're going to leave this bolt in place so we won't mess up the alignment. Even though if you take it out, it probably won't mess it up because there's no adjustment here, but just to be safe, we're going to leave that there so it stays in place. We're going to take the hardware that we get with the Whiteline kit, and this will replace the OEM bolt that goes there. The hardware, you'll want lock washer, normal washer, and then on to the mounting location. Now, we can go ahead and torque all these bolts down. After we've got all the bolts torqued down, we've got some lateral locks to install that go on the inside of the bushings to keep the sway bars from moving back and forth. What you want to do is they'll go vertical, slip that behind the sway bar, and just get it nice and snug right up next to the bushing there. And we'll finger tighten the hardware. And Whiteline gives you a little Allen wrench for these as well. We'll get the second one down here. And once those are lined up, go ahead and get them all tightened down. And you do the same thing on the other side. With the lateral locks in place, we've got everything wrapped up on our sway bar and end link install on our 2015 WRX. Hopefully, it's the solution to get that mid-corner and exit rotation that this car desperately needed. If you guys got any comments or questions, leave them in the comments below, or you can shoot us an email, sales@SubiSpeed.com, or give us a call, 888-885-2002. And always, like and subscribe for more DIY videos on your 2015 WRX and STI.